Well, Coach Fisher, I was hoping this one-on-one conversation was going to take place in the friendly confines of KUSI studio, but the ballpark's not a bad backdrop, is it not?
This is a pretty good place for Fisher and Rudy to have a chance to get together and talk a little bit.
All right, we have a lot of things to talk about. Part of the you're going to be taking part in the tailgate, right? When's the last time you've ever tailgated as a civilian?
For 19 years, I've been tailgating at San Diego State, walking the parking lot, shaking hands, and.
So you're a hardcore tailgater then, huh? It's part of the gig.
Well, not a hardcore tailgater, but I'm gonna be here on Saturday, and I'm very excited about Celebrate San Diego. And the neat thing about this, they're gonna have huge TV screens, so all the Aztec fans are gonna come to the Padre game that night, can watch San Diego State football play at Air Force. So it'll be a nice treat. So it's gonna be exciting.
When I came to town, San Diego State was a football school. Then when you came to town shortly thereafter, it quickly became a basketball school. What is San Diego State now? Is it a football, basketball, or both?
Well, I think San Diego State is a school that if you take a look at our athletic program right now, Paul, you say they are big time in all their sports. The marquee sports right now are football and basketball, so they get the most attention, but all our sports continue to be really good.
I don't know what the rules are now, but can you talk about Dutch's recruiting class? Are you impressed what he did the first year by flying solo?
You know, everybody wants to find something to get nervous about and talk about, and we missed out on 2 or 3 players, and that's recruiting. And then when in a 24-hour span, we signed three players.
Yeah.
We got 3 players, 2 of whom are there right now. The Rooks, who's a 5th-year senior from Cal, and Matt Mitchell, who will be able to play immediately. And they are both very good additions to San Diego State. They'll be here this year. 6 new players and a roster that I think will perform.
When you're recruiting a kid, I can't imagine a better recruiter than yourself. Do me a favor. I'm a recruit. Recruit me to San Diego State.
Paul, what I want to say to you is, as good as you think you are, if you close your eyes and dream about putting on a basketball uniform at San Diego State, walking out to that crowd in Viejas Arena, and dream about what you can achieve or what we can achieve collectively, I promise you, in 4 years when you graduate, you're going to say, Coach, I remember when you came in my home and told me, and it's better than you said it was going to be. I make that commitment to you and your family that we're going to be the closest thing to blood family and blood relatives without being blood relatives. We need you and want you to be a part of San Diego State.
That's great.
Can I sign you now?
Yes, I'll sign. I just don't know if my grades are up.
Recruiting is so easy now as far as knowing who can play and who can't play because of all the benefits of technology. In 5 or 10 minutes, we can tell if the kid can play or not. All we have to do is get on our computer and get his highlight tape.
He was talking about football. I was wondering, does that same apply to basketball with all the camps? Do you know instantly if a kid's going to be able to fit into your program? The guesswork is out of it?
I've watched the football camps do what we've done for years. Have summer activity where you can evaluate. And what the summers have done for the college basketball coaches is they've given you an opportunity to, in one location, go and not have to spend so much money and go everywhere and see all sorts of kids. The one thing, Paul, that you don't see, I'm a former high school basketball coach. Too often in our world, the high school coach is no longer involved. If I'm investing in Paul Rudy, I'm going to find out a lot about you behind the scenes. I'm going to talk to people that you don't know.
Speak to one of the other perils that is a recent phenomenon, social media. How has that changed the landscape?
Everybody knows what you do, and oftentimes they know it before you do it. It's a more complicated world for everybody. In the old days, if I had a problem, I'd deal with it. If you need to discipline, you do it, you move on, and most of the time, the rest of the world has no clue anything even happened.
He was a man from the get-go who could make his point without being a jerk about it. And he could maintain that coach-player relationship, that teacher-pupil relationship, and still coach.
We have a couple mutual friends. Let's talk first about a man that I greatly admire that played for you back at Illinois. Tell me a Larry McCarron story.
Larry McCarron, who he may still, at one time he held the Green Bay Packer all-time start list on his wedding day. I'm a young single guy and I live in an apartment. McCarron is over at 10 o'clock in the morning before his 12:30, 1 o'clock wedding, pumping iron, working out with the weights before he had his wedding. And to him, that had to be done or there would be no wedding.
Oh no, Paul Rudy's totally melted down. Look what he's done. He's bet the silver pigskin on Gusev off suit.
John Coleman says you took all his money in Vegas. Could you speak to that a little bit? Who's the better card player?
John Coleman.
No, I don't believe it.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. I'm the young teacher coach, and Coleman was a star, was the star of Chicago television at the time, with his stick that didn't change when he came to San Diego. He'd sing and dance as he did the weather, and I've gotten to know him since I came out here, and that's been one of the neat things that's happened to me, to get to know really a quality man. That's my legacy. San Diego State is my legacy. I'm proud of every step along the way in my journey, but I'm an Aztec.
Everyone knows what you've done for San Diego State athletics, basketball. What's the greater accomplishment in your life? What you've done there, or what you and your son Mark have done for ALS awareness in the community and nationwide?
Paul, I'm a dad first and foremost. And everything I've ever done in my professional life has been surrounded by what's in the best interest of family. When Mark was diagnosed with ALS, his comment was, I don't want pity, I want support. And that's what we provided for one another. He's been a great inspiration for me, and I think for our basketball team, with how he's handled himself, and got a wife and a 3.5-year-old son, Max. I take great pride in being a dad. I take great pride in what we've done at San Diego State with our basketball team. And we're going to see that again on Saturday with what they're doing with Celebrate San Diego, and with the big tailgate party, followed by I'm so honored to be throwing out a first pitch with some of these luminaries in town. So it's just neat to be a part of this. And with you too. I mean, you and I have become friends now over the last 18 years, and I value that friendship. So I feel privileged to be here and be a part of everything that's going on, and I'm so excited about what's going to happen here on Saturday.